Okay, welcome back, children. Now today we are going to do the third chapter of Oliver Twist. Now, we have already done two. This is the third one. So before we start this chapter, beta, I just want to tell you something about what happened in chapter two. So in chapter two, Oliver was brought to a person who used to make coffins, Mr. Soberberry. He and his wife used to be there in the shop, look after that shop. And Mr. Soberberry was a kind person, but Mrs. Soberberry was a little apprehensive of taking Oliver under her wing. She thought that he's going to be an added burden on their income. So okay, so fine when she welcomes him, but she takes her down first for the meal, then upstairs to show him his bed. He had to sleep among with the coffins lying around. So the night passed, the morning came. The morning came, and there was a knock at the door. And when he opened the door, there was a big boy standing there, and his name was Noah Claypole. And this boy was in charge of the shop, and he was very happy to have Oliver work there because now he can bully him around because he was being bullied in his neighborhood where he used to live because he was a poor boy. So now let's move ahead. Let's see what happens after that. Okay. During the months which followed, Noah. Okay. During the months that followed, Noah Claypole made life unpleasant for Oliver. So obviously, from the beginning, he was thinking that he is going to bully Oliver. So for the months that passed on, he every day he used to do something which used to upset Oliver. Because Mr. Sowerberry tried to be his friend, Mrs. Sowerberry was his enemy. Oliver's life was not comfortable. So, see, the only person who was a little pleasant was Mr. Sowerberry. Both rest of the both, like Mrs. Sowerberry and this boy Noah, were pretty much offended that Oliver had come there. One day, Noah was very bad to Oliver. He pulled his hair hard and hurt his ears. So every day he used to do something or the other, hit him or something. But one day he was very cruel. He pulled his hair hard and hurt his ear. Maybe he's pulling his ears. No? He was trying to make Oliver cry. He was trying to see how much Oliver can resist when he's going to cry. How's your mother workhouse here? He said. Then the most cruel part, he says, how's your mother workhouse? Workhouse, remember, he came from the workhouse. That is why he never addressed him as Oliver, always used to call him workhouse. She's dead, replied Oliver. Don't you say anything about her to me. So Oliver simply answers him that she's no more. She died when I was born. And he warns Noah that don't you say anything about her to me. Everyone, we are very sensitive about our parents, or to our loved ones. Anyone who says anything harsh about them, then we don't take it very lightly. So Oliver also warned him, don't you dare say anything about my mother. What? Cried Noah. Don't be rude, Workhouse. We all pity you, Workhouse. But your mother was a bad woman. You know she was. So here Noah tells Oliver that okay, man, don't be rude. When Oliver said, "Na, don't you say anything about her to me" in a loud, angry voice, so he said, "Oh, don't be so rude. I'm not going to say anything." But your mother was a bad woman. Bad woman means not a very good one. So you know she was. What did you say? Asked Oliver, looking up quickly. So Oliver didn't like his mother being called bad. Nobody will like it. So he gets angry. What did you say? Kya kaha tumne? A bad woman workhouse, repeated Noah, and Noah repeatedly trying to irritate him. He simply said, a bad woman workhouse. She was a bad woman. Red with anger, Oliver pushed over the chair and table, seized the much bigger boy by the neck, shook him, and then threw him to the ground. So Oliver got so angry, wild with anger, बिल्कुल red हो गया anger से, he pushed the chair and table which was there in between those two, then seized the much bigger boy. Seized means पकड़ लिया उसे ना, boy by the neck, and shook him and threw him on the ground. So see, he was a tiny, thin fellow, with all bones, but still, when he got angry, he was able to push that big boy onto the ground. He'll murder me, cried Noah. Help, Mrs. Sowerberry. Oliver has gone mad. So Noah didn't know that this is how Oliver will react. So he panicked. He started screaming. He'll murder me. Mujhe maar dega. Help, Mrs. Sowerberry. Oliver has gone mad. So he cried for help. Mrs. Sowerberry came running into the kitchen. She held Oliver and scratched his face. Scratched his face when you do scratch like this, with her nails, she tried to scratch it. Noah got up and hit him from behind. When they were tired and could not tear and scratch and beat no longer, they carried Oliver to a dark room and shut him in there. So both of them, Mrs. Sowerberry and Noah, pounced on him from every place and scratching, beating, hitting, kicking, everything they tried to do. And when they were tired of hitting him, the both of them carried him to a dark room and shut him there. Mrs. Sowerberry sat down and began to cry. We might all have been murdered in our beds, she said. And what shall we do? Mr. Sowerberry is not at home. There's no man in the house. Now Mrs. Sowerberry got she sat down and started crying. She's crying that this boy was going to murder them. Exaggeration ho raha hai na. This boy was never going to murder them na. But still, she got so frightened by the fact that he hit such a big boy, Noah. So she assumed that they will be sleeping one day in their beds and he is going to come there and murder them. Then what shall we do? Mr. Sowerberry is also not there in the house. So she asks Noah to go run and call Mr. Bumble. Remember the one person in the workhouse? So she tells you go and fetch him, Noah, and tell him to come here at once. And she asks Noah to go and bring Mr. Bumble right here this moment. We'll tell him what a person, what a boy he has given us to us. Noah found Mr. Bumble at the workhouse. Oh, Mr. Bumble, sir, cried Noah. Oliver, sir, Oliver has. Now Noah started pretending. He's trying to exaggerate things. बढ़ा रहा है चीजों को जितना था भी नहीं उससे ज़्यादा. And in front of Mr. Bumble, he started, oh, Mr. Bumble, Oliver, sir, Oliver has. So that person is trying to ask, what? Asked Mr. Bumble with a look of pleasure in his eyes. Not run away. He hasn't run away. Has he, Noah? So Mr. Bumble said, okay. So I think did he run away? Did Oliver run away? Is he not there in the shop? No, not run away, sir. But he attacked me and tried to murder me, sir. So Noah said, no, sir, he didn't run away. भाग नहीं गया, उसने तो मेरे पे अटैक कर दिया, उसने तो मुझे मारने की कोशिश की. And then he tried to murder Mrs. Sowerberry, sir. Then he said that he tried to murder Mrs. Sowerberry also, not me only, but the lady of the house also. Oh, the terrible pain. And then he starts pretending, मेरे बहुत दर्द हो रहा है ना, I can't stand straight also. And Noah moved his body as if it was still suffering from Oliver's attack. He's trying to pretend, I can't stand. Okay. My poor boy, said Mr. Bumble. I'll come at once. So Mr. Bumble said, okay, you're so hurt. Okay, I'll come with you to the shop. He took a stick and set off with Noah to Mr. Sowerberry's place. He went to the dark room and said in a deep voice. So he went to the shop and then he went to that room in which Oliver was locked. So he went into that room and said in a deep voice, Oliver, let me out, cried Oliver from inside. Do you know this voice, Oliver asked Mr. Bumble. Yes, Oliver answered. Aren't you afraid of it? Have you no fear while I speak? So that person there, Mr. Bumble is trying to ask him, are you not frightened? Have you recognized who I am? So he says, no, I am not frightened. He says, no, said Oliver in a courageous voice. He's trying to show that, no, I am not frightened of your voice. I know who you are and I know how you speak. This answer was so difficult from the one who he expected to receive. Mr. Bumble was very surprised. Mr. Bumble thought that he will be a timid boy, he will be frightened and he'll say, oh, Mr. Bumble, please take me out of the room. I want to go to the workhouse and this and that. But Oliver never said anything. He said, yes, I recognize you. I don't fear you anymore. He stood back from the door and looked at the others. Oh, you know, Mr. Bumble, he must be mad, said Mrs. Sowerberry. No good boy can speak to you like that. So Mr. Sowerberry said, Mrs. Sowerberry is trying to tell Mr. Bumble, oh, sir, I think he's gone mad. He's not in the right frame of mind. That is why he's answering you that like that. Otherwise, no boy can talk to you in this voice. Okay, he's not mad, said Mr. Bumble after a few moments. Deep thought, he's thinking. The trouble is meat. So he says, no, no. Now I come to know why he is talking like this. He's talking like this because you have been feeding him meat. The very first day I brought him here, you offered him meat. That is why after eating meat every day, something has gone wrong with him. What? Said Mrs. Sowerberry. Meat? Meat, so Mrs. Sowerberry, meat, said Mr. Bumble. You have given him too much of to eat. If you had fed him only on, okay, here it is. If you had fed him only on, means he's trying to tell, if you have given him only soup like we used to give you in the workhouse, where we used to give him in the workhouse, he would have been in the better frame of mind. But because you have been feeding him with meat, he has gone mad. Something has gone wrong with him. Now we have a photograph here. This is Mr. Bumble. See, angry looking man. There, Mr. Bumble. I hope you have this in the book also. You can see there. Okay. So soup, as we did in the workhouse, this would never have happened. So he's telling Mrs. Sowerberry that it's your fault that he is turning like this. He's hitting everyone. He's talking like that because you have been feeding him meat. Dear, dear, said Mrs. Sowerberry. This is the result of being generous. So Mrs. Sowerberry, oh my God, I thought a child would enjoy having meat and I was being generous. I was being kind. But I didn't know that meat has this effect on a person's personality. Leave him in there for a day or two, said Mr. Bumble. Give him nothing but soup in future, Mrs. Sowerberry. He comes of a bad family. So Mr. Bumble instructs Mrs. Sowerberry that, okay, now what is done is done. Now what are we going to do now? We are not going to give him any meat in the future. We are only going to give him soup. You will only give him that patla sa soup only. And you will keep him locked in here in this dark room for another day or two. Then he will be all right. He comes from a very bad family. That is why he's reacting like that. At this moment, Mr. Sowerberry arrived. He wanted to be kind to Oliver, but when his wife began to cry, he felt forced to beat Oliver. Now, after all this commotion and everything, Mr. Sowerberry returned from somewhere where he had gone. So when he came back, he wanted to be kind to Oliver. He understood why Oliver had reacted because Noah had talked ill about his mother. So he knew why Oliver reacted in this way. But because his wife was crying and saying, he's going to murder us and all, so he was forced to beat Oliver. He hit him hard and then shut him up in a dark room again. At night, Oliver was ordered upstairs to his bed in the shop. So the whole day he was closed in that dark room. He was beaten badly every now and then. And at night, he was led upstairs where his bed was in the shop and he was allowed to sleep there. It was not until he was left alone in the silence of the shop that Oliver began to cry. When he was left all alone, he started crying. He was feeling sad for himself. He was feeling sad that why he was born in the workhouse and why these people are treating him so badly. He fell on his knees on the floor and hiding his face in his hands, he wept. Poor child, he was just weeping and regretting that why did he come here. For a long time, he stayed like that without moving. Then he opened the door and looked out. It was a cold, dark night. He shut the door, tied up his few clothes in a handkerchief, and sat down to wait for the morning. So while he was weeping, he was thinking. And after thinking, he thought that, okay, I don't want to live here. I don't want to live here. I want to go away from here. I want to run away from here. So he looked out into the night and he saw, it is a cold night. But then he had decided, So he picked up his few clothes and in a handkerchief, tied it in the handkerchief, maybe a big one, and sat down to wait for the morning. He was thinking, as we get the first light, as he sees the first light of the day, he is going to run away. When the first light of the day showed through the window, he opened the door. जैसे ही पहली किरण सूरज की window के अंदर आई, he opened the door. After one quick look around him, he closed the door behind him and was out in the open street. So the door was locked from inside, and because he was the one to open the shop in the morning. So when he opened the door, it was not locked from outside, so he was very easily, he could come out. So he opened the door, came out, closed the door, and he was out in the open street. So with this, we finished the third lesson. Just wait, I'll do the question answers also. Okay, so chapter number 3, he runs away, the question answers. Fine. The first question says, who made life unpleasant for Oliver? Unpleasant means somebody was very unkind to him. So who was that person? Mr. Noah Claypole made life unpleasant for Oliver, that big boy who looked after the shop. He was the one. What did Noah say about Oliver's mother? So what did he say? He said she's a bad woman. Noah said Oliver's mother was a bad woman. She was of not bad character, he means. What did Oliver do to Noah? So Oliver seized Noah by the neck, shook him and threw him on the ground. Remember, he just caught hold of his neck, shook him like a hilaya और ज़मीन पे फेंक दिया. When did Oliver run away? When did he run away? When Oliver ran away when the first light of the day showed through the window. While it was dawn, he just opened the door and he walked out of onto the open street. So with this, we finish the chapter number 3. I hope, children, you have made a new copy for the story. You have to write the question answers in that story copy, not in the literature copy. So we have a literature copy, we have a story copy. Okay, so bye for now. Meet you in the next video. Bye.